But his meet and greet, is like, since I became a mom, I don't do many things for myself because I just make sure my kids got it.
Yes.
She's like, however, I'm not missing this meet and greet with Chris Brown. And I was like, that's like $1,000.
Totally
She's like,
get it.
I am absolutely, I haven't, she said she hasn't seen Chris Brown since 2007.
Right, yeah.
And so this is her opportunity. And she said, I will not, she said her girlfriend said, hey, or her sister said, I can go to the show, but I'm not getting no picture. And she said, well, then I'll leave you there because I'm going back there to give my thing. Now,
is that per person or per pair?
That's per
for
person.
Pair?
That's per
Holy
person.
Because I was talking to Babs about it, and I was like, I don't even know.
$1,000 for a photograph, and you get to stage the photograph how you want.
Yeah.
We talked about this before, like if people would actually like do this, and that was when it wasn't even a Chris Brown show here. Now, people are making that decision, and relationships are making that decision.
They really are.
Because do you want your girl not just to have the photo? That's not the big deal. Do you want your girl to have a photo that she is going to put all over social media?
A moment.
With Chris Brown,
right,
with your girl bent over
or hugging
or with her legs up in the air wrapped around him because he's doing all of those.
Yeah. Some people would be okay with it because it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. Those meet and greets, even though they're very expensive, they're going to sell out. And there's probably only like 100 slots available.
That's still $100,000. And I don't think he's taking 100 people.
Maybe.
But if he does 50, that's $50,000 per
That's easy
city.
to do 100. 100?
It's not easy.
Yeah,
100 staged photos.
I would say it's worth it. And it's usually
$100,000. I mean, I would say maybe 40, 50 tops because, that's probably before the show. Or because if it's after the show, he's exhausted. I would think.
No, it's before. A lot of these meet and greets, in case y'all have never done them before, they're usually like hours ahead of time.
A couple of them I've gone to.
I would say more rare that it's right before they hop on stage. Although that's super convenient for anybody that has to go to a meet and greet. But I've been to some where it's like 4 or 5 hours before the actual show.
I remember the one. Honestly, and this is crazy to even mention this, but when Ariana came to town. And I was there with her like the whole day. I didn't know that the meet and greet was set to happen so early. So they're back there like I'm back there with the crew and blah blah blah. And all of a sudden they start corralling people like say, hey, we got everybody in the little room. And it was still daylight outside. Yeah. And all these people were there. And it was like it had to be like 150 people.
Wow.
Took pictures with 150 people.
That's so many.
It was, and they got to watch the sound check and whatever. And the reason I was explained, the reason that they do it so early is because they have their pre-show rituals with their vocalizing and their stuff like that. And they can't meet people and scream and hug and get emotional and all that stuff and then go out and perform. So they have their like pre-show ritual that they have to
How
do.
was that for Ed Sheeran? Was it really far in advance when you got a chance to meet him?
Ed Sheeran was, it was incredible. That was one that was like, it was a moment because he took the time with people. Like there was one girl in front of me, Casey, and I got to know her. Casey was in a wheelchair. Aww. And she was so excited. I was like, I'll take your picture for you or whatever. She's like, no, I've seen him before. I've traveled to see him. Like he knew her. When he saw her, he's like, oh my God, hey. And he spent time with her, picked her up, took the pictures, did all that stuff. Like it was real, but it definitely is an early type thing. It's in the venue and during the showtime. But everybody else was like daylight.
Yeah, so prepare yourself because we don't know if it's going to be like right beforehand or hours. But it was different with Jelly Roll, right? He had like a party for you guys for the meet and greet.
He had a full party back there.
Was that before or after?
It was after the show.
Okay, so
and it was a hang though. It wasn't like line up and everything else. It was just people walking around back there, and he was bouncing around talking to everybody, like kicking it.
Yeah, like
it was just a party, and he was like, "Hey man, so what's going on?"
He wants to actually talk to the program directors, get to know everybody in radio.
Somebody out of the 813 says, I would easily encourage my lady to do the meet and greet. It's a unique experience she could remember for a lifetime.
For a lifetime. I mean, when are you going to get to have like 3 minutes with Chris Brown? And yes, is a line of ladies behind you, so it's not like, intimate or anything like that. And you know what? He's so cool. He's ready to take all these fun photos with you.
But my question is, and again, this person, it sounds uniquely secure. Mm-hmm. Okay, I get it. But the photo styling is what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah,
Anthony wants you to have your moment. Like this guy.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah.
But when my wife or my girlfriend or whatever, like I said, mama, all them, they look at social media.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So now the picture is not just a prom picture.
Mm-hmm.
The picture is of you bent over looking at the thing and him standing behind you like it's suggested.
Yeah. How tight is he holding your waist?
I mean, not even that. It's like they got full on nasty pictures.
Yeah. No, I've seen them before. And But again, he's down for having like a little bit of fun and being a clown.
Her being down is the problem.
Why is that a problem?
Because
she's paying for it.
You take a picture with Chris Brown and put it up everywhere. Okay, cool. Y'all could look like a couple. But I'm saying when you ratchet out for Chris Brown and you put it on everything that is important, now everybody sees my girl
and is
bent over in front of Chris Brown
all day. Yes.
That don't feel like, come on.
It's a lot to kind of deal with. I can totally understand that. Now, I got not in trouble, but when I did my meet and greet with 50 Cent, not this weekend, but at the pool party, Anthony was like, how tight is he holding your waist right there?
Oh, yeah.
He zoomed in on it and circled it. Yeah. He's like, how close were you getting to 50 Cent?
That is a little and
I was getting very close. I was like, I love 50 Cent.
And was you touching him like, okay, he got the muscle?
I hugged him. I gave a huge bear hug.
Call me.
I told him how much I loved him. And, there was a line of people, so I didn't want to take up too much of his time. But then we took like 3 or 4 photos and he got very close to everybody.
Call me insecure, but I don't want my girl like all up on that, groping all on that guy.
On 50 or Chris Brown?
I like whoever that guy is with the muscles. It's like Titus O'Neil standing there, and people come by and say, "Hey, Titus," and they put their arm on him. They always be like, "Oh, damn,
you so big,
and strong." I'm like, man, Titus, if you don't get your big, if you don't get your He-Man ass over there, stop.
Especially with his deep voice.
Yeah, you got the deep voice. He's tall and big old. I'm like, man, come on, man. Some of us over here, some of us soft pudgy folk, don't want to be compared with that right there.
I don't see you getting insecure about Chris Brown.
I would be I totally would if my girl put a picture up that was suggestive of her and Chris Brown, because it's gonna be the profile picture, the contact. The one for the
everybody
account,
to see.
For everybody to see for at least a year.
Yeah.
So I gotta now say, yeah, that's my girl throwing it back on Chris Brown.
Bent over.
That's
or he's picking her up and putting the girls on his shoulders or stuff like that. Out of the 813 for $1,000, she better make it worth it. I'm not insecure like that.
My husband said to sit my ass down somewhere. It's what it says in the 813. Exactly. You ain't going to see Chris Brown.
Why? That's not cool.
Either or, it's a red flag. See, this is finally some folks waking up to say, hey, you know what? Insecurity ain't bad.
Even the caller that you were just mentioning, I forget her name, but she was like, man, I haven't seen Chris Brown since 2007. This was like having fun. This was before babies and responsibilities. So she's definitely going to go to the show and the meet and greet. But when you get to go do that and you grew up watching and listening to somebody like this, you tend to revert back to childhood or being a teenager and having fun,
Nah, listen,
the clubs.
I'm all about it. I'm just saying the way people are excited right now, I was worried on if Chris could sell out a stadium.
I was too.
Because this is new.
Yeah.
This is uncharted territory for him. The way people are responding,
it's crazy.
I'm not tripping no more.
No, me either.
I don't even think this is going to be a problem.
It's almost, people were crazy, obviously, for Beyonce and a bunch of other people, but this is getting to that level.
My girl can take the picture as long as I get some with his top dancer, because she bad. See?
That's a little.
And okay, at least have it equal. Why not have that? Yeah. Why not have Chris Brown gets all of the ladies? The men who are there with the ladies pay $500
for
or something
dancer?
To go over there with the dancers, and the dancers get to be all up on you.
We got dancers
and we
here.
get to get all touched up and all that, just to make it even for the dude.
I don't
like throw his hands back, and then they all be like doing them dancer moves. Like she bent this way, this one bent this way.
She's not famous.
Yeah, listen,
like Chris Brown famous.
But I'm saying, let's do something for the daddies.
You have Tampa. You have strip clubs. You guys are used to dancers.
So you're equating Chris Brown to a stripper.
No, you are with the dancers, and that's why they're not famous enough to be getting like $500. Like Chris Brown is $1,000, and he's just gonna make so much money that night. I like his personality and making sure each person feels seen, heard, and loved, even if it's just for a couple of minutes.
I don't like it.
You would definitely let your girl
Somebody
do that.
said, "No, I'm just gonna buy her a cameo for $250." That's smart.
Orlando and the Freak Show.
Welcome to the Freak Show. Breezy World is here.
Thanks for checking out our video. We really appreciate it, and I know you want some more, so make sure you hit like and hit subscribe right below.